close. I'm from a land called Sparta. I made a deal with the god that cost me my soul. I killed many who were deserving, and many who were not. I killed my father.
I watched your father in hell. Is this what it is to be a god? Is this how it always ends? Sons killing their mothers? Their fathers?
No. We will be the gods we choose to be. Not those who have been. Who I was is not who you be. We must be better.
What's up, people? MarkJack79 here, and today we got a really awesome package in the mail. Today we are taking a look at the NECA PlayStation official licensed product, Kratos and Atreus God of War Ultimate Action Figure 2-pack. Alright, so let's get a look at it from the front. Man, this packaging looks really awesome. Yeah, definitely. Spin it to the top here. Got that tree. Spin it to the bottom here. Got some product. Got some accessories. It comes with the Blades of Chaos, Guardian Shield, and the Blades of Chaos chains. Looks good, man. It's product numbering NECA. Spin it to the side here. We have Atreus here. Looks cool. 35 points of articulation. Nice. Spin it to the back here. Looks like I can get him in. It's got two Kratos heads, the Chaos Flame, Mimmer's head, upgraded chained Blades of Chaos. Looks good. The truth, I am a god boy from another land far from here. When I came to these shores, I chose to live as a man. But the truth is, I was born a god, and so were you, Kratos. Very nice. Kratos and Atreus. 5-4, looks good. And Kratos here. Chains. 36 points of articulation. Got his Leviathan axe. Axe Frozen Flame. Looks good, man. Looks really good. Alright, let's go ahead, crack them open, see what we got inside. Really awesome packaging here, man. So it looks like the Kratos comes with all of his accessories that he had in the previous packaging. Again, we got the Atreus here in the package. Looks good, man. Alright, I'm tired of staring at them in the package. Let's crack them open and let's take a look at our Kratos and our Atreus and their mountain load of accessories out of the package. Okay, I am not going to waste any time here because we have a lot to go through today, so let's get right to it. So we have the Kratos here out of the package. Looks absolutely stunning. We can get in close to that eye detail there. Even look at the pupils in his eyes, man. Absolutely beautiful. Got the direction in the tattooing there. Definition for the biceps. I got some weird kind of red specks on him right there. Didn't notice that before. But you know, to the chest and the definition in the muscles, to the the scarring on the stomach looks really good. Got the chains from the blades right there showing up and popping really good. Got the silver marking on his belt there. That shows up really good too as well. Got the texturing on his cloth skirt here. Looks really good. All the way down to the boots here. Looks good. Spin them to the side. Get a really good look at the shoulder pad here. Looks awesome. Kind of got a little bit of a paint defect on that top portion there. Not really too noticeable, but gotta point it out. It is a review. Good look at the side of his beard here. Looks really good. Really looks like a Greek pantheon god here. Those old school statues or whatnot. So go down. Got a quick glimpse of the Mimmer head there. The boots, we spin them to the back here, and he has some really good detailing on his back here as well, man. Top of his head to the tattooing here, kind of got a weird kind of You kind of had to break the head up a little bit so you can get some neck articulation. I get it. It's still kind of ugly though. To the back, to the bicep here, looks good. Got some really cool detail on his shoulder blade here. I don't know, that's clearly the kind of fur or something from some animal that he's probably destroyed. And to the back of the pouches here, got his sheath for his knife. Looks like that should be a clip for either the axe or the blades of chaos. I can't remember which one though. Then we got the mammoth head here. Looks really good from the horns to the eye there to the beard. Looks good. Beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful piece. To the boots here. Looks good, man. Okay, so let's move on. Before we hit the accessories, let's look at the Atreus here real quick. And from starting off, I don't know what's going on with Atreus's pupils here, but man, that gives him like a weird, kind of a zombie look. I don't remember his eyes being that blue in the game. I could be wrong, but yeah, I definitely don't recall his eyes being that blue. It's weird. At the top of his hair here, kind of got a reddish orange. That is accurate. Looks really cool. To the furring on his chest plate here, looks cool. To the hands, to the shoulder, wrist pads, all the way to the skirt gauntlets here, the pants and the boots. I'll spin around to the back and get a look at his back of his head, the ears here, to the sheath that will hold his arrows, or not a sheath but his quiver, but here is the sheath for his knife here, or his mother's knife. Got kind of a bit of a weird paint detail right there on the wrist. Gotta point that out. Probably could have been buffed out or something before it released, so you gotta point that kind of stuff out, man. Spin over to this side here. Looks okay. Go down a little bit further to the boots, and the rest of them looks good. So let's go on ahead and move on to Kratos. Is many accessories here. So first, let's start off with the finished blades of chaos here, which are absolutely stunning. At first I was thinking I was probably just gonna pose him with the axe, but man, oh man, these blades of chaos are absolutely beautiful, man. I'll probably keep my first NECA God of War Kratos with his axe, and then most likely I will pose this new one here with the blades of chaos, because I still say the blades of chaos are obviously Kratos' most iconic weapon. So, and they also come with the chains to clip on to the figure as well, so definitely have that option. If you're wondering if it was anything different on this side here, no, it's not. It's exactly the same. So you get it close. Got some writing here. And yeah, look at that, man. Absolutely stunning. Look at that detail. Goodness gracious. Yeah, beautiful, man. Beautiful. So then we move on to the shield here. And this is exactly the same shield that came with the previous Kratos. So nothing has really changed about it. So there you go. Beautiful nonetheless. Absolutely a really good accessory to have. And we do get an extra head here with some extra hands. So we have a screaming Kratos head now. So, and then we have some extra hands here as well. And then we have his Spartan Rage power-ups here that he can, put onto the fist and unleash his Spartan Rage. So that is an option you have as well. Really, really cool. Then we move on to this is the shield in its fixed position when Kratos is not using it. So you should be able to put that somewhere on his wrist. So, but really good detail in that as well. And then we have the Leviathan axe here, which is actually different from the previous release as well. It's more detailed. So on the previous one, it did not have this green effect at the top here. So this might be a finished, fully powered up Leviathan axe as well. So, but nonetheless, looks beautiful as well. The detail in it is absolutely stunning. Get all those little intricate details on that. And if those of you were wondering, yep, I do have a life-size version of the Leviathan axe as well. That video is on the channel as well. You should definitely go check that out. I will tag that in the link in the description. So, but yeah, it looks really good, man. Oh, and that leads us into the next accessory. These are the Blades of Chaos when Kratos first picks them up from his house before they've been upgraded. So these are actually how the Blades of Chaos appeared in the original God of War on PlayStation 2. So it's really cool to have these as well. Looks like they're kind of run down, but you know, that's how they always start out. And then once, you know, he powers them up, then they end up looking something like that. So really cool. And then we also get this effect for the Leviathan axe as well, like he's swinging them. I mean, you know, I'm never really a fan of the swinging air effects, you know, but it's cool to have. You know, it's really cool that they included it, but do I plan on using it? Most likely not. And then finally for Kratos, we have his knife here that he uses to, you know, he cut rope, or you know, help hunt, or whatever he's doing at the moment. So okay, so let's move on to Atreus. His accessories now comes with an extra hand. It comes with his 4 arrows here. Obviously he would need one to hold when he's about to shoot with his bow and arrow, and then he comes with the bow itself. So it's really cool. That detailing in that is really nice. Very cool. And then finally, he has the knife that he received from his mother at the time of her passing. So it's really cool to have that as well. All right, man. So let's go ahead and put up the stand and let's take a look at their articulation. Okay. So starting out, so Kratos' head can move downwards, not very much. This kind of gets hindered by the beard here, but he can move upwards that much. That's where it kind of gets, you need that cut in the back of the head here to get that articulation. You can move side that much there, move to the side that much, but it cannot rotate 360 degrees though. So, but when you turn it, you got to be careful because that exposes a little bit of dirt, some paint chipping right there as well. So you're probably not going to want to do that too much. Then you can rotate his arm 360 degrees. See, can kind of move it up a smidge. It's pretty tight though, so keep that in mind. Push that back down. He does have, as you can see, he does have a bicep crunch or an elbow crunch. It can be pushed up 90 degrees, but that is tight as well. So, you know, keep that in mind. And yeah, he does have a bicep swivel as well that can be rotated 360 degrees. There you go. So that's, yep, just like that. And then his wrist rotation 360 degrees can be pushed he can be pushed inwards, outwards, but you have to be careful of this top piece of the gauntlet here because that kind of hinders the wrist articulation. So you have to twist it in a way to where it's not getting hit by that to, you know, really fully utilize it. So push that back down. And it should be, well, actually it will not be the same thing with this arm here because this shoulder is going to be hindered by the shoulder pad here, which I mean that makes sense. I would rather have the shoulder pad to look good or for them to have to break it up to, you know, get his articulation. So so I can accept that, but it could be pushed up that much. Can be pushed backwards that much. The arm can be straightened out. Then of course the bicep swivel can be pushed up that much. And keep in mind this is really tight too guys. So be careful of that so that you don't rip it and tear it. You know. And then this kind of flat piece can like flip back and forth to kind of give you some freedom to, you know, fully utilize the arm's articulation. It can be pushed outwards that much there, as you can see. Okay, so now for the torso, you get that much left, that much right, but you don't really, you kind of get a little bit of a ball peg on that torso, as you can see. So you can definitely get him into some cool poses. I mean, you just have to put some brain power behind him, man. You can definitely get him into some really epic poses, you know. So with the legs here, the leg can be pushed out forward that much. See, so you can definitely get him into some kicking motion, and it can be pushed backwards that much. Now with the knee here, you kind of have to force it, but you can definitely get it to bend 90 degrees. So then with the ankle, again, you kind of have to force it a bit, but you don't want to force it too much because you don't want to break it. He does have a bit of a toe hinge too, as well, as you can see. Thigh swivel can be rotated out slightly to the left, slightly to the right, but that is not 360 degrees though. So don't try to force that because you will break it. So you just gotta loosen them up a bit here, man. So. Alright, so let's move on to the other leg here really quick. So forwards, backwards, rotate. As you hear how tight that is, so definitely be careful with it. Don't try to force that. Then ankle, be pushed down that much, pushed upwards that much, as you can see. And then we have the toe hinge right there, as you see. Push that back down. So yeah, man. So you definitely get a really good range of articulation with this Kratos. Really, NECA is really, and this is really good for NECA, man, because the majority of their figures really focus on looks instead of articulation, and I feel like they did a really good job with articulation of this figure, because Kratos is obviously a pretty agile character. So let's see how they did with the Atreus. So Atreus, his head can't really move upwards, and you don't get any articulation or rotations on Atreus' head at all. If you try to twist it, it just goes right back to its fixed position. So I think I would probably treat Atreus more as just another big accessory, because it's looking like his articulation is not anywhere near as the grand scope of what Kratos was. So let's see if we can bend this arm here. So it looks like he's got like a bend that he can fix his elbow to a fixed position so that he can hold the arrow accurately. So that makes sense. We just push that back down, and then he does have a bicep swivel on this arm here. We can rotate that 360 degrees. Actually, that's more of the shoulder than the bicep, to be honest. And then the elbow crunch can bend that much. And then wrist swivel, go in that much, push it out, push it in, and there you go. But be careful with that. That's pretty flimsy too. So keep that in mind. And then legs here, it's going to be hindered by this skirt here, but it can be pushed outwards that much, backwards, and pushed forwards. That's how you get right there, man. So it might be kind of tough to get him into a decent, which is weird, because then he could push it out, he pushes sideways that much, but the skirt here is so stiff you can't really push out his leg, which is what you would need to really get him into a decent bow and arrow pose. So this leg, kind of the same. It's going to be hindered by the skirt here. You can push that out forward that much, but you can push it out sideways that much. So that's crazy. So with the feet here, kind of the same as Kratos. You get that much ankle, but you don't get a toe hinge with Atreus though. So that's kind of unfortunate. You can move that up and down, and you can spin the foot 360 degrees as well. So alright, man, so let's go on ahead and let's get them into some of their accessories, and let's take a look at how they hold their accessories. So actually, a correction on that Atreus' head articulation. You kind of have to force it a bit, but you can get him to turn it too so that he can face, because when I was trying to get him into his arrow pose, you can definitely turn his head to get him, looking in the direction of where he's pointing his arrow at. So there you go. Okay, so now for our first set of accessories, we have Kratos holding his Blades of Chaos. Atreus is ready. He's got his bow and arrow in hand. Got him in a pretty decent stance here. This is probably most likely how he is going to go onto the shelf. Got his arrows in his quiver there. His mom's knife is in his back sheath there. Like I said, I got Kratos holding the Blades of Chaos. Man, I was having an issue. I don't know where to plug the little metal piece here. I couldn't get it to plug into this little hole here to get the chain to stay. So I don't know how to do that. If anybody has any tips or tricks, please post them in the comment section, because I cannot get these little metal clips to stay in the hole. It's crazy. So yeah, and then also a really cool little tidbit that I did not know before: the handle can actually detach from the blade, so that you can easily get the handle into his hands here. And that was something else that I realized too, is that these hands here, the closed fisted hands, are for the Rage of Sparta effects, and then the open hands is for the Leviathan axe and for the Blades of Chaos. So, and then of course, like I thought, the Leviathan axe can comfortably hang on to the back, utilizing the clip here as well. So really cool, really cool, man. So okay, and for our next accessory, we have the Rage of Sparta. And probably the weakest out of the three fighting styles when it comes to the accessories. But I mean, it's a cool nod that they added it. But you know, I fumbled around with it and tried to get them to stay on the hands. I'm sure it's a way to get them to fit tightly on the hands, but you know, they just kept on being loose. And I tell you what, man, switching these heads out was extremely frustrating. This is really tight, man. So I would definitely recommend taking a blow dryer to this head to get it to fit on the sculpt. So definitely, I don't know, and the more I look at it, I'm not really liking it either. It's like they kind of messed up the teeth a little bit. See that? Yeah, man, I'm not really feeling it. So we're definitely either going to go for the Blaze of Chaos look or the Leviathan axe swinging look. And for our final accessories look, we have him swinging his Leviathan axe with the effect. Cool. But again, I've never really been a huge fan of the effect pieces for weapons, making it look like you're swinging them. I hate that face sculpt. I really do. Yeah, man, he's looking like, I hate it, dude. Yeah, man. But not a fan of this one either. So I think if I were to ever pose him with the Leviathan axe, we would definitely switch the heads and take out the effect piece here. So yeah, man, just not a fan. So let's switch it back to the Blaze of Chaos here. And for those that are interested, here is the first version of the NECA Kratos that was released by itself. And here is the newer version. So some subtle differences. Definitely more of a peach skinned Kratos here than this one. This one was definitely has more white skinned. The Leviathan axe, like I said, the green is more potent on this one here. And then the silver on the belt buckles here is a little bit deeper. This one as well. So, and then the skirt, the colors kind of pop more on this one than they do on this one here. So there's some subtle color differences, I guess, per se. Then of course, I mean, obviously this one I think retailed at like $25 when I got it from Target. And then, oh yeah, I never even mentioned, like I had purchased this set from Ageless Geeks for $50 even. So I'm pretty sure they still have a ton of these available. So if you're looking, that's probably going to be your best bet. So, you know, just get on agelessgeeks.com or the Facebook group or whichever, and they should be able to help you out. $50. I mean, even with some of the letdowns and some of the accessories here, the $50 you can't beat this set for $50. Especially if you were a huge fan of the game. As most people know, if you follow my channel, God of War was definitely my game of the year for 2018. And any kind of cool, awesome merchandise that I can get for the game, I'm definitely going to get it. So that's where we're at, man. So probably going to, because I'm planning on displaying both of these still, so I'm probably going to take that axe and put it on this Kratos, and then display this Kratos with the Blaze of Chaos. Is most likely what my plan is going to be when I display them both on the shelf. So okay. Alright, and now we are back to how most likely I'm going to display these figures on the shelf. So happy to have this set, man. He looks good with his Blaze of Chaos. I have switched out the Leviathan axes so that the older Kratos has the new one, while I still have the old Leviathan axe on the back of this Kratos here, as you can see. Looks good, man. I like that. I like it a lot. Like I said, I got this set from Ageless Geeks for $50. This Kratos is still pretty readily available at like Target, GameStop, etc. I've seen him for like retailing for like $25. So I mean, so if you want the Atreus and all the extra accessories, I definitely say it's worth it. If you have not added this figure to your collection yet, I mean, if you're any kind of a God of War fan, I would definitely say go for it, man. You will not go wrong with having this figure in your collection. So I've been a God of War fan for at least a decade now, and yeah, gotta love it, man. So alright, so hopefully you stayed all the way to the end of the video. If you did, thank you very much. I know this was kind of a longer review than usual, but we had a lot to cover and a lot to talk about, man, and I'm glad you stayed all the way through. So as always, if you liked the video, if you would do me a huge favor and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. At the making of this video, we are at 833 subscribers, which means we are only 167 subscribers away from the golden goal of 1,000. So if you want to help the channel grow, help support it, please just like the video and hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it, man. You can follow me at youtube.com/Marjack79. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, Marjack79. And as always, stay tuned because I always have more content coming out. And until then, I will see you guys on the next one. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.